Hey guys, Dissection of Violence here. This is a fun card. Again, not the best quality, but it's still fun. We have some good scraps on it. Yeah, not much else I could say, but let's get right into it. Yeah. We'll start off. We have Muhammad Usman versus Mick Parkin. Now, I've been really back and forth on this fight. I like Muhammad Usman. I think he's good enough to beat the lower level guys, but the question is Mick Parkin low level or is he just mid? Honestly, I think he's mid, and for that reason, I'm starting to lean the side of Parkin. But honestly, I'm so confused with this fight because he slowed down terribly in his last fight against Machado. But I think Machado's a better striker than Usman, and he's a better grappler. It's just the wrestling and the strength and the athleticism of Usman. I don't know how that's going to cancel out. I don't know how that's going to play a factor. I'm going to lean Mick Parkin. I'm probably going to end up getting out of my Usman bet. I don't know. This is a weird spot. I'm not going to tell you guys how much. Obviously, that's for the VIP Discord. But, yeah, I got some money on Usman. It should be interesting, though. I got him when the odds were a little better. Not much better, but they're still better than what they are now. But, yeah, I think Mick Parkin wins a close decision, but, man, I could see Usman greasing out his way through a decision. So, for that reason, I'm going to go with Mick Parkin. But I could switch back to Usman. I've been switching back and forth on this fight a lot, and I probably will be till the fight happens. So, yeah, moving on, we have Igor Severino versus Andre Lima. So Andre Lima, the thing with him that I like is his composure and his shot selection, as well as his grappling is very solid as well. Igor Severino, he goes for it, but I don't know how sustainable that pace is. I don't know if he can keep 3 rounds, and I feel like someone like an Andre Lima could be the guy to, shut down the fire that Igor brings. Like, how old is Igor? He's 20 years old. A little young, in my opinion, to be, this highly touted. He fought a guy way smaller than him in the Contender Series. Andre Lima is a good opponent. Faced a vet in his last outing, beat him. Honestly, I think Andre Lima is just going to be the better fighter. But it is close. I can see why people are giving Severino a chance. He goes for it and he's got nasty power, but he overextends on a lot of his punches, which puts him out of position. And I think Lima can capitalize on that, find his shots. I'm going to go with Andre Lima here, but it's a fun fight, and lots of things could happen in this one. Moving on, we have Darius Zheleznyakova versus Montserrat Rendon. Now, honestly, with this one, I got to go with Daria, because, Daria at least, has, a process, and I know what to expect from her. She's got good striking, good takedown defense, but as far as her jiu-jitsu, it's not great. Rendon's jiu-jitsu is better. Her wrestling isn't good, and she cage pushes a lot. Relies on just winning positionally. I don't think Zheleznyakova is going to let her get those positions. I think she's going to land the better shots, win at least 2 rounds, and win a unanimous decision. I think Daria's striking is far superior. And I think she has a lot more upside, being 28 years old, I believe, and Montserrat is 35. She's not getting any younger, so I'm going to have to go with Darius getting it done here on her debut. But it is a little sketchy, debuts never really bode well, so, we'll see how it goes, but I think Daria wins this one. I also have to say Montserrat is game, and she knows how to win decisions, so be careful with betting this fight too much. Daria could blow this debut because Montserrat is good at squeaking out decisions with cage pushing and top control time. She doesn't do much with either, but she knows how to win with it. So hopefully that doesn't happen and Daria wins a decision or KO. Moving on, we have Steve Nguyen versus Jarno Errens. Now, I am pretty sold on Steve Nguyen, and I was sold on Fieldhill last week, and I got talked off of him, and like people are trying to talk me off Nguyen now. I'm not going to let it happen like it did last week, because last week Fieldhill cashed with ease, and I cashed it out, so I really didn't make much. I would have made a lot more. When I trust my gut, it usually works out for me. I do think Nguyen's a better fighter. His boxing's sharp. He's not an elite fighter, obviously. Very rarely would I line him negative 200 or negative 300. But I do think that match should suit here. Jarno Errens, he's not like a terrible fighter. He has some skill, but for the most part, his process isn't great, and he's just, you know, his best attribute is his striking, and even then, that's not so good. I don't think he can wrestle that well. I think he gives up a lot of good positions. He's a bit reckless at times. I do think Nguyen's gonna have better moments and win a decision, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Jarno Errens shock the world and get a decision win. That's his best way to win, is a decision. I don't think he's gonna KO Nguyen, but he could steal a decision with a big knockdown or landing the better shots. I'm gonna go with Nguyen here, but man, I really hope that because if he loses, but homie Fieldhill wins, that'll be weird for me. I might just make a new rule and just keep trusting it no matter on the outcome, because Nguyen's a prospect, so is Fieldhill, but Fieldhill, in my opinion, is a better prospect. So Nguyen, you better not blow this, bro. It's a layup from the UFC. Moving on, we have Miles Johns versus Cody Gibson. Cody Gibson's a vet, man. He knows how to win. He's been through hard fights before. He has good jiu-jitsu, good wrestling, defense, and good striking. He's pretty well rounded. He's beat pretty good guys. Mando Gutierrez by KO. Arm triangle. He has, you know what I mean? So he's dangerous wherever the fight goes. But he's fighting someone in Miles Johns who has similar skills, where he's well-rounded wrestling background, solid striking. I do think his boxing is going to be more sharp. He trains with good people. He has good wins. Vince Morales is a good win, aging. Kevin Natividad's alright. Beat Adrian Yanez back in the day. Honestly, I'm going to have to side with Miles Johns, but I can understand why people are on Cody Gibson. The guy's a gamer. And the last time he fought a veteran, even though it's Castaneda and he's more so like a vet prospect, I do think Cody Gibson gets hit too much, and the power of Johns is real. I do think he'll win the bigger moments and win a decision. But honestly, this is a close fight, and I don't want anything to do with it from a betting perspective, because Cody Gibson could just show that there's levels to experience and skill, and honestly, I do think Gibson might have more skill, but Johns' athleticism, his youth, and how old is Cody? 36 years old. Miles Johns is like 29 years old. Like, I gotta go Johns here. I'm not always sold on age. I know it doesn't mean a lot, but I do think Johns is gonna be the better fighter here. I think he's going to be able to out-wrestle Gibson and win a dominant decision. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I can see this getting greasy, so be careful on this spot. Moving on, we have Ricardo Ramos versus Julian Erosa. Great fight. Great matchmaking. Ramos is a really, really good fighter. Good wrestling defense. Pretty good striking, spinning elbows for days. He's very, very good with those. But the thing with this fight is he's fighting Julian Juicy J Erosa, and last time he's fought someone like Juicy J, he got I think it was submitted. And I just think the guy is a bit overrated, and he quits on himself sometimes. Losing to Zheleznyakova by decision. Jourdain submitted him. Other than some, funky stuff, I don't see him. Man, this is a weird spot. Because I like Ramos here for the KO, But the only reason I'm doing that is because he just seems to know how to find it or win a decision. And I'm going to go with Ramos here, but I'm not confident because, Erosa's, funky. He's awkward to fight. His chin's a liability, which is the only reason I'm fading him here. But I do think Ramos shouldn't be trusted. And this fight should be, taken very lightly. This could go very, very bad, and I don't want nothing to do with it, to be honest. But yeah, moving on. I'm going to go with Ramos by decision, but this is a really, really close fight, in my opinion. Trey Ogden taking on Kurt Holobaugh. Interesting fight. Two guys, two vets, facing off. Trey Ogden has lost to Jordan Levitt, but beat Daniel Zellhuber. The guy should beat guys, but then lose fights. I'm going to go Trey Ogden here, but Kurt Holobaugh by decision is really appealing because all Holobaugh has to do is just land the bigger shots, and Ogden, can't out-jab him to a decision. I do think Holobaugh's hands are better. I think his power is better. His jiu-jitsu might be as well. I think it's pretty even in the jiu-jitsu. I would say youth definitely goes to Ogden. So, 37 years old, Holobaugh is. I'm going to go with Ogden, but it's only due to age and wrestling. I do think Ogden is going to have the better wrestling. He's in great shape, looking like coming into this fight. Ogden's a workhorse, and he has good fight IQ, so I'm going to trust he's going to have a good game plan here. Kurt Holobaugh by decision is very appealing, but I'm just not going to take that. I do think Ogden wins this fight, but we'll see how it goes. It's definitely a great matchup by the UFC. So it's more. So like I said, this card's pretty good if you're a nerd, but if you're not a nerd, this is a hard card, to get through. But yeah, I'm on Trey Ogden here by decision. Moving on, Luis Pajuelo versus Fernando Padilla. Fernando, I don't like that loss to Monster. Monster backed him up, showed him, experience. I like how and all, but I just don't think I like Pajuelo. If he can smell like weakness, he's gonna come and take that, and he's good at finding shots and landing them. I think Pajuelo is gonna find either the KO shot on Padilla in the later rounds, or I do think he's gonna win a decision. I'm gonna lean the dog shot here in Pajuelo. But this could be a big mistake in hindsight because Padilla at least has UFC experience. Pajuelo fought, someone who's not that great in ring. So I truly don't know how good Luis is, but I've seen enough to where I like the stuff I see, and I do think he can beat Padilla. I think he can break him. We'll just see if it happens. It's a very, very close fight. Should be a pick'ems in my opinion. I don't know how Padilla's I do know how Padilla's a favorite, but I don't get it, to be honest, because I don't think Padilla deserves a favorite tag, especially after his last performance. But we'll see how this fight goes. Definitely a fun fight. Going to be a great one for the fans. I can hardly see this going to the ground. But yeah, I'm going to go with Luis Pajuelo by later round TKO. Moving on, we have Youssef Zalal taking on Billy Quarantillo. Now, honestly, I haven't really made up my mind with this fight. I lean Quarantillo. Making Zalal uncomfortable, landing, better in round 2 and 3. But this is a weird fight, man, because Zalal is coming in on short notice. He has good experience. He took the champ, Ilia Topuria, to a decision. Like, he has, good fight experience. It's just, he does get tired, and it's uncomfortable when he gets tired. And I do think Quarantillo can push a good pace, but betting on Billy Q rarely is a good idea unless it's a guy with bad cardio or not great. His technique is not the greatest, and he leans a lot, which got him KO'd against Barboza. And I just think Zalal can steal a decision from this guy. So I'm going to go with Billy Quarantillo, but I'm not confident. Just like a lot of these fights, I'm not confident, but I'm going to lean the side of Billy Quarantillo here. Definitely don't think he should be a big favorite. I think it's fair where the lines are at now, but Yeah, this is a pass spot for me. I just don't want to bet on this fight. It's just there's too many outcomes that could happen here. But yeah, moving on. I might play the over. I don't know. We'll see. Moving on, we have Peyton Talbott versus Cameron Saaiman. So Cameron Saaiman he's good. He's really good, actually. He has good striking, good grappling. But the thing that with Cameron Saaiman that, is he doesn't like pressure fighters, and he can be hit. And I think Peyton Talbott is the exact nightmare matchup for Cameron Saaiman because he can do everything he can do, but in my opinion, better. I'm gonna go with Peyton Talbott here. Winning by either TKO late or a unanimous decision. I just think Peyton Talbott is that guy right now. And Cameron Saaiman is shown to be very human against Christian Rodriguez, who literally put a pace on him. And Rodriguez isn't amazing. He's good, but he's not amazing. So I think Peyton Talbott has a really, really good skill set. I think he's a bit, his head stays on the center line a bit too much, but other than that, he's very, very good at finding his shots, landing, ripping to the body. Man, this guy's fun to watch. He's one of my favorite prospects right now. Definitely got to side with Peyton Talbott here. Yeah, not much else I could say. The line's kind of shot up, but I do think Peyton Talbott is that side, and I would line him up to a negative 200 favorite here. I just think Peyton Talbott's that guy right now. Moving on, we have Edmund Shahbazyan versus AJ Dobson. Fun fight, really good fight. Dobson is definitely being very underestimated by the bookies. I don't get why. Edmund is not his best form. I know he's beat some good guys, and Dobson hasn't really beat anybody, but let's see who these guys are in today's day and age compared to Dobson's wins. Dalcha Lungambala, Brad Tavares, Jack Marshman. These aren't great wins in hindsight. AJ Dobson is, in my opinion, a much better fighter. He's got really nasty power. I'm gonna probably take a shot here on Dobson. We'll see though. I'm still deciding. I just think Shahbazyan he's gonna have to rely on wrestling, and Dobson knows how to wrestle. So definitely a fun fight. I like Dobson's work rate. He's a grinder. He has nasty power on the feet. I do think Dobson is going to be able to hurt Shahbazyan in the course of the fight and either win a decision or a KO. So I'm going to go with AJ Dobson winning this one here. I'm definitely not a popular pick. A lot of people are on the Edmund side, but I do think Dobson has a clear value and the clear power and, athleticism, momentum. I just got to go with Dobson here. Yeah. Moving on, though, we have Justin Tafa versus Carl Williams. Now, heavyweight fights are never fun to bet on for this reason, because Carl Williams could just wrestle his way to a decision, and Tafa, being really, really not good on the ground, can just let that happen. But the thing with this fight is Carl Williams is not a natural heavyweight, and Justin Tafa is. And if Tafa connects one time, this could change the whole course of the fight. So for that reason, I've decided just to pass on this fight altogether. I'm going to wait for the domestic props to come out, see what the odds they give Tafa, first round KO. I just don't see Tafa winning this if it goes to stretch. I think Carl Williams can cage push enough and get Tafa to the ground to win a decision and just jab his way to a decision. The heavyweights aren't very good, and Carl Williams could prove that here. I'm going to go with Carl Williams. Man. See, this is where it gets tricky, because I want to pick Tafa, but his brother looked terrible his last performance, and Carl Williams has been training with Strickland and a lot of good guys. So I'm going to go with Carl Williams, but I'm not confident at all. And I'm probably going to switch back to Tafa probably. So don't take my quote on this fight. This is another fight that I'm pretty 50-50 on. But yeah, moving on, we have Amanda Ribas taking on Thug Rose Namajunas. Honestly, I think Namajunas gets a KO here. I think she's striking is a lot better. Her jiu-jitsu is maybe not as good, but it's pretty good. Her wrestling is top-notch. I just think The problem with Rose is she gets in her own head, and is she in her head for this fight? I don't know. I'm going to go with Rose by TKO, making a statement. I just think Ribas is there to be TKO'd, and I just think Rose is a shot finder, and she can find the shot against Ribas. So I'm going to go Rose TKO, but honestly, I wouldn't be shocked to see Ribas submit her or win a decision or something like that. So definitely a weird spot. Definitely going to wait for domestic props to come out with that. See what props they give me value. But yeah, guys, those are my picks. Let me give you my top 5 picks. Top 5. Okay. So my number 1 pick of the card is going to be Steve Nguyen. Not confident. Number 2, Peyton Talbott. Number 3, Lima. Andre Lima. Number 4, Rose Namajunas. And number 5, Miles Jones. This is actually, I'm going to go, Miles Jones. This is a hard card, I'll be honest. Just listening to my top 5 makes me want to puke, so it's a very, very tricky card. If you don't do great on this card, don't hold yourself, don't get too hard on yourself. It is what it is. We got 2 more cards like this before we get normalcy again. We'll get through it, guys. Until next time, I'm Jaden, and let's crush these tickets, man. Like, I'm tired of freaking, getting this close to getting to this much money, So we're going to work real hard to make sure that doesn't happen this week. And until next time, guys, I'm Jaden, Dissection of Violence. I appreciate the love. Comment below what you guys think, who you guys have. And until then, I'll see you next time.